your perspective, how does the war in Ukraine end? As we've seen it, kind of slog on here for 3 years.
Probably this war will be end using kind of frozen territories. That means probably that will be kind of reactions from Europe and also from United States. He will be feel a kind of pressure from NATO members and from other countries to try negotiate with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But in the opinion of many experts from Poland, in that case, negotiation where the Ukrainians will be removed from the territory which they defend, that will be a mistake, because everybody says that the Russian machine don't stop that easily.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of GNSI's video series. I'm Dr. Tad Schnaufer, Strategy and Research Manager here at the Global and National Security Institute at the University of South Florida. Today, we're joined by Professor Jacek Dworzecki of the General Thaddeus Kościuszko Military University of Land Forces in Poland. The Land Forces University is a partner of GNSI, and the good professor's distinguished accomplishments in Polish law enforcement and academia are really unparalleled. He has also taught in Slovakia and Czechia, as well as speaking both those native languages. Today, we're going to explore security challenges from around Europe from a Polish perspective. Well, welcome, Professor, to our video series episode.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a huge pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. So before we got started with the episode here, we were talking about Poland's position in Europe, its relationship with the United States, and you mentioned that Poland has often either seen itself or acted as America's wingman in Europe. Could you go into that in more detail for us?
We try to be your strongest allies, if that will be possible in the east part in Europe. And we know that we are a young democracy, but we learned very quickly. We admire your democracy, your culture, your society. We want to be your colleagues, your friends, your allies on military areas. And we know also that the main threat for us now is the threat from the east. So we must be prepared. We know that United States will be always support us, but United States have also domestic problems. Or also United States are active in every part of our world. So we must be prepared, and we will be prepared, but we need also kind of help from your side and from our allies from the NATO. So we know that we must build a new kind of society. That means society which every member of our society will be prepared to go to, for example, active duty in the military, because this situation, the war, the invasion of Ukraine, strongly affect us as a human beings. So
So you're talking the kind of the total defense strategy, kind of like the Finnish have and some of the other recent NATO members? Is that what you're talking about? Poland being more able to mobilize more quickly?
Yeah, mobilize more quickly, build the biggest army, the biggest land forces, especially, because it's not possible to create a strong air fleet. We tried this. We evolve. We buying a new modern equipment, but we know that if that will be first strike from the Russia sides, the strike will be with using land forces. So we will be probably the first defense wall protecting the rest of our continent, our part of Europe.
Right. And currently, NATO or Poland is one of the highest defense expenditure countries in NATO. They have almost 4% of their GDP on defense. Is that Poland reacting to that Russian threat? And
officially, it's now probably 4.7 GDP we spend for military expenses. Now our population is about 38 plus 2 million Ukrainian citizens living in our country. That means 40 million people. And we know that we must be the strongest force in our part of Europe. We must be prepared. So we don't try save money for our military expenses, for our military needs. We must try, and we try go to create the faster our military capacity, our army.
Right. Because you guys have, Poland has doubled the size of its army over the last couple of years, from 100,000 roughly 200,000.
The last information which I find on the officially published website is that we have more than 200,000 soldiers now in Poland in active duty. So this is a challenge, because this is a process to prepare soldiers from the civilian to the professional, military services. It's a process, but we create our facilities in military universities or military units. We try building new solutions. And we also, as I tell you at the beginning, we buying a new kind of equipments, tanks, military chapters, fighter jets. So yeah, we don't prepare to the war, but we must be ready. We must be ready through the strong, through the force,
right,
for potentially attack.
So why does Poland feel like it would be next if something happened in Ukraine? Why did the Poles feel that way?
In the public space, we registrate many information from the east side, that this imperialism don't stop in the Ukraine. Of course, this is also propaganda. This is regimes from Kremlin propaganda, but we registered many signals, and we also see, and we have registered on our land, on our soil, a kind of hybrid attacks. So we are not only one target now in the frame of hybrid attack, like destroying our traffic infrastructure or our small industries. These attacks was also registered in Germany, in other European Union countries. So this is a process. We are a nation. We want to be a young, modern democracy, peacefully, and we never think about that our country can attack any kind of countries from our neighborhoods. It's not possible, because we want to be a modern democracy. But unfortunately, we have neighborhoods from the east which want to create, I don't know how it's called this, maybe unstoppable war machine. We don't understand this to the end, because we can cooperate with everybody. And we tried this many times. And our cooperation, economically, politically, geopolitically, military, looks very good. And we are member of NATO,
right,
25 years now. We are also member of European Union. And our main focus, we want to grow up as a nation. But our territory, it's our own. That means we are independent country. We are a sovereign country. So we don't let change the borders using military force. This is not contemporary rules which lead the world. Yeah, it's not possible to agree with decision group of one man or his group to change the borders using tanks, soldiers.
Right. Yes. So So obviously it's not in Poland's interest for Putin and Russia to change borders in Europe forcefully. So with that in mind, obviously Poland's increasing its defense capabilities. It's, as you mentioned, strength to deterrence, or strength to deterrence. So the stronger you are, the more likely you are to deter an attack. What role does the Polish-United States relationship play in that reaction to Russia?
It's key role. That was always key role. Now we have about 10,000 US soldiers in our soil. And of course, United States support us for many years in the frame of evolve our army, modernize our army. And you are your allies, and we always will be stand with you. Mm-hmm. But we expect that same from your side. That means you are our team leader, so you can't forget about us. You know, so we try create our own solutions when we spoke about military industries, because we know that we need our own sources. We need to have our own sources. Also, we have we built very good relations in the frame of economy, in politics with other European Union countries. But Russia is the biggest country on the world with nuclear warheads, and they currently authorities. They have old mentality. They thinking like people living in 70s. Mm-hmm. So the changing borders today using force, it's something unbelievable in our part of the world. So we hope that after election, United States don't forget about friends in Europe, but we also know that we must be prepared for every kind of crisis scenarios.
With or without the United States?
Without is not possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible to be prepared without United States. But we don't expect that United States will be always for us a babysitter. We know that. We won't be prepared for example, for any kind of threats from the east, but we also want to be, as we tell you, your wingman, and we need your help also because you have the best technology, the military technology on the world. If we spoke, for example, about satellites, so. We will see what will be in the next 2 years. We hope that that brave Ukrainian nation will be stop this Russian irrational aggression. But as I tell you, this is a huge war machine from the east, and one small nation, cannot stop them using military force. It's not possible. This is my point of view. One nation, that means one small nation with our GDP or our human sources.
With the small nations, obviously Poland's roughly the same population size of Ukraine before the war anyway, roughly 40 million, I believe.
Yeah.
But so how has Ukraine been able to hold on as a small nation? Is it from and kind of hold the Russian back? Is it because they haven't fully mobilized, or what explains the current state in Ukraine?
I think that Ukraine show us for the last 2 years that smallest nation can do big things. And the bravest which Ukrainians show us every day are incredible.
Yeah,
are incredible. But they need support when we spoke about military equipment, about intelligence information, So this is the key role for Europe now. We understood this. this is point of view, I think, Mr. President Trump, that the European Union must take on their own shoulders this job. This is the first step. The second step, we spoke about sanctions. These sanctions must work, but everybody knows that these sanctions working on the, I don't know, 60, on the level 65, maybe 70%. But this is too complicated.
Right, because
it's not easy. Because use the sanctions with 100% sure that they will be effective.
Right. I think we spoke earlier that the EU currently still pays Russia hundreds of millions of dollars per day for gas,
before the
coal.
war. Before the war, because European Union have at that time open politics. European Union is organization, many countries which want to grow up together.
Right.
And the European Union is open for cooperation with every nation. We understand this. People in the European Union understand this, but as we see now, not our all neighborhoods understand this, that we can grow up together in collaboration, in cooperation. Yeah. Now, the first year after Russia invasion was a shock especially for West nations. Because we as a Polish people, I think we know better Russian mentality, the rest of, in comparison, the rest of European Union countries. We change. We have more or less common history after Second World War, because we, as you probably sir know, we was in the influence of Soviet Union. But in 90s, we change our system. We try build democracy. Of course, we have bad days, good days, but we won't be a democratic state. So we totally stop thinking what we can take from others, but we're thinking what we can create for us and for others. So we try develop our industry. We try be open for every country from the world. But in the West, we see that regimes, that dictators are lead their nations. And for us, it's not to the end understandable to understand. We don't understand to the end mentality of these people.
Of like someone like Putin.
Someone like Putin, because if you be a leader of your nation, you want to for your people everything what is the best for them. Who decide to send hundreds of thousands of own citizens fighting in the trenches on your neighborhood territory? You have a kind of we have plenty of possibilities to solve every conflict using political methods, negotiations. But sent for the start of invasion about 200,000 soldiers to the country, to the brotherhood country, when the people have common family. From the one country, they have fathers living in one country and the sons living in the attacking country, the enemy's country. This is hard to believe, but this is our reality now. And this conflict cost both sides hundreds of thousands of lives. Hundreds of thousands of lives. So, yeah, this is the challenge for European Union now. We hope that this is the challenge with support United States, not without. We hope that.
Well, and that's a fair assessment. What, from your perspective, how does the war in Ukraine end? As we've seen it, kind of slog on here for 3 years.
Probably this war will be end using kind of frozen territories. That means probably that will be kind of reactions from Europe and also from United States. He will be feel a kind of pressure from NATO members and from other countries to try negotiate with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But in the opinion of many experts from Poland, in that case, negotiation where the Ukrainians will be removed from the territory which they defend, that will be a mistake, because everybody says that the Russian machine don't stop that easily.
Mm-hmm. So even if there's like a frozen conflict, which we've seen historically, Russia has done this before. Russia has done this in Georgia in 2008. Russia's done this in 2014 in the Donbass before this recent invasion of Ukraine. So you're saying if you have another frozen conflict through negotiations, that Ukraine would have pressure to, in a sense, give up the land and just let the Russians occupy it, that they currently occupy it.
And the next attack will be matter of time. Next Russia attack will be matter of time.
So really, it would be a reset of what we had in 2014. So in 2014, Russia annexes Crimea. They have the fighting in the Donbass, and then you have a kind of a ceasefire starting in 2015. No major movement, and then 7 years later, the war starts over.
And they're preparing his own military force, and then they preparing army,
right?
And they make the next step. And we see results of this next step.
So if it freezes again, it might just be another 5 or 10 years until the next attack. Once they re-establish their military,
everybody have hope that Russian mentality will be changed. But I spoke with people living in Russia, and this is curious situation, because we have information that many young Russians support this invasion. People will have access, they have before the war, access to internet.
Do you know why they support it?
Probably they feel that their country are unstoppable in many fields. Maybe this is kind of fake pride.
Yeah, pride, yeah.
Fake pride. That means they think that if they want, they can go to the West and can stop in the ocean, in the Atlantic. So, I hope that they don't. I hope that I am wrong, but of course the propaganda have results.
Sure, yeah.
Make every day, but these people travel a lot. Russian travel a lot around the world. They see democracy in Poland, they see democracy in other European countries. They travel to United States, to South Korea. So it's hard to believe that they have green light to these authorities to invade other countries.
Right. Yeah. So is that why Poland feels it could be next? And when it says next, it's not saying tomorrow. It's saying 5 or 10 years. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. Many Polish citizens feel that we are next. That we are next, as you say, sir, not today or tomorrow, but if Russian authoritarianism doesn't stop, doesn't change, we probably, or Baltic states, we will be probably next. Of course, it also is Moldova.
Yeah, Moldova. Yeah.
And Russia influence in this country is extremely strong. But
they just elected a pro-EU leader.
Yeah.
Right? Barely.
Yeah. And we hope that will be part of our European Union. But this is process.
Yeah.
This is process, and this is not only process focusing on economy, but this is process focusing also about the society, about respect the law, our law, common law, our European law. So yeah, that will be also a challenge because Russia, as I say, have strong influence in this small country,
right,
and huge interests economically, geopolitically, military interests. They have own base in Moldova.
Yeah, in the Transnistria breakaway region. Yeah.
So that will be not that easy for Moldovan people to be a part of the European Union because Russia will be doing everything to stop them.
Well, and that's, again, one of those other frozen conflicts we mentioned. So we talked about Georgia, Ukraine, and then Moldova is another example of that, where Russia freezes a conflict and it keeps that country from joining the West.
They say they try build kind of buffer zone.
Buffers, yeah.
Buffer zone. But who treat them? Polish nation treat Russia?
Yeah. So you're saying who's the threat to Russia?
Who is the threat?
Well, there's some American theorists, they're realists, that say that it's because of NATO expansion, Russia had to react. You think that's a possibility?
NATO expansion. Russia was the main economically partner from European Union when we spoke about natural sources.
Yes.
That means
European
European Union buying from them a lot of gas, oil, petrol, and natural sources. We try build with them a prosperity for our part of the world, and they say that we are a threat for them. Before the war, our army was around 100,000 soldiers. And that will be for today if they don't attack Ukraine. Finland and Sweden this country was not part of NATO. Now they are because they are afraid, and they look on this situation very realistic, very realistic. As you know, Russia changed totally his economy now. They create a military industry. They remove industry to the military purposes. So if I could remember, I read text authors from Germany. He write that every year Russia we can building around 1.5k tanks. So this is the main threat. They still want have they still want to have be in the conflict. So yeah, this is challenge. This is huge challenge, and one nation, even our nation, 40 million people nation, we can stand alone against them.
So you're saying, as you said before, you need the United States in NATO as well, but primarily the United States.
It's hard to believe that United States can be left NATO. That means it's hard to believe because when was attacked in 9/11 and
9/11.
9/11, and the United States need us for intervention. We were ready, and we help you, and we help the rest of the world react for this terrorist threats. And no one in Poland says, "Yeah, this is bad. This is not right." No, that was our duty because we was a part of NATO. So we expect that same from the rest our partner to be ready to help us if we will be need this help.
Right. So in a sense, because after the 9/11 attacks, that's the only time NATO issued Article 5, which is the all for one.
Article 5 was used, and
Poland
was ready. No one prepared, as say our Minister of Foreign Affairs. No one from Polish side prepared check for United States for our services. Right. we was ready. We are a one team. We are NATO, the strongest force on the earth. So when someone need us, we as a Polish people are ready. But we want that same from our partners. We expect from our partners that same. No one can tell us, I will be help you today, but probably I don't help you tomorrow, because this is not fair.
So is there concern about, how the U.S. has been over the last probably about 10 years kind of waffling on European security? Is there concern in Poland of the elections?
Not only me. Very rationally thinking European citizens think what will be next, how United States react if we will be a target, for example, a kind of hybrid war.
Mm-hmm. It's not a clear attack.
Unclear attack. Maybe the next move will be another group of green green men will be attack part of our country or maybe part of Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. So we can stand and looking, these guys are probably not from Russia. They are probably will be from Russia. Of course, they can use mercenaries, but this man is crisis scenarios, but we must react. In that case, every reaction is better than no reaction. In that case, in Russia case.
Because Poland's dealt with a number of border issues with Belarus, right? Where they were flying in people to cross the border and they were having issues with that, with the Belarusian border as well as the Lithuanian. So you've had to build border fences, increase border security and concern for the war, but other things, right?
Our soldiers and police officers bravely protect our border from long period of time. We have victims. We have one soldier fallen in this year, attacking illegal migrant.
Right.
Was attacking. This also cost a lot.
Right.
But we protect not only Polish border. We protect European Union.
Yeah,
because our border, our east border is border of European Union countries. So, and me doing this using non-lethal weapon. That means we respect this. We respect these people. And me doing this, and this is not fair game.
Right.
This is not fair play because Belarus using all methods to break us. Polish people are prepared for this. Our forces, our law enforcement agencies are prepared for this, but it's not easy. Of course, we have a kind of help from European Union. But I think we need a kind of solutions on the highest level in the European Union. Kind of solutions with using European Union funds. We can spend money only, from our budget for this purpose. So we will see what will be next. The chairman of European Union, Ms. von der Leyen, is very open, very flexible, and she reacts very quickly for many new situations.
Right.
So we looking in the forward with hope. We look in the future with hope that European Union will be ready for another move from the east.
Right. And like you said, it might not be tanks. It could be a cyber attack or it could be something different.
Yeah, kind of
the hybrid.
Kind of limited terrorist attack. Limited, right. Maybe. In Europe, we have many citizens from former Soviet Union countries. They, of course, are part of our societies, but they can be a target for Russian intelligence forces. So they can use them as potentially attackers, or potentially threat for us.
Interesting, but in the end, you guys look. You're saying from your perspective, primarily it's the U.S. is the biggest partner that's going to be able to help you.
It's not easy. Imagine the world orders without United States. How? This is not possible from our point of view. You lead the world for many years. You are democracy, like we. And now in this moment, of course, we are not prepared for every retreats from the east.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this European Union is about it's now population with all 27 countries, about 400 million people.
Mm-hmm.
And if we spoke about economy, I'm not sure. I'm not economist, but I think that this is the third economy in the world, behind the US and China. So we have sources. We have financial sources, we have human sources, we have technology. But we must doing this together. I understand national interest,
Sure.
in many countries. But in that case, we must be over this divide. Divide.
But and the Polish-American relationship actually goes back pretty far. So we talked about after 9/11, Poland was very supportive of the U.S. in the invasion of Afghanistan, but also in the invasion of Iraq. But that partnership and between the Poles and the Americans goes back to the American Revolution even.
We have long common history. Our heroes fighting in your soil for your freedom. In United States, it's Polish minority with, I don't know, 8 million people, 8 to 10 million people. Of course, they living here more than 200 years, but our minority mostly living in Pennsylvania. Chicago, Illinois. So you are for us for many years a kind of example. How grow up economically, how grow up as how evolve as a society. So we want to be a part of your democratically world. We don't be a part of autocratics, regulations and autocratics, fictively naive democracy. We don't believe in that kind of leadership like present country from our east border, behind our east border.
Yes.
We are not that kind of naive.
And with that in mind, where does Poland go now? So we just had the U.S. election. Poland just had recent elections over the summer. So where is Poland going now in the sense of security and dealing with the threat to the east?
Wow. First of all, we are a part of the European Union, and we want to be part of the European Union. So we accept almost every solution fleeing from Brussels to Poland. Our economy growing. Thanks, of course, closest cooperation with Germany, with other European Union countries. Also thanks cooperation in USA and other countries. So first of all, strong economy. This is the main point, because if we will have strong economy, we can create strong military solutions. That means we can build a strong army, because this is extremely expensive to build a new modern army, to transform our army, because we can buy a fighter jet and a modern tank. But we need also soldiers very well prepared, and this is a process. And my university, which I represent, we are a part of this process, and we're doing what we can do to prepare a very well prepared soldier, educated, and our government support us, and our Minister of Defense support us, not only our university, but all universities, military universities in Poland. And of course, we try transform our forces for the 21st century.
Well, that's excellent. Just to wrap up, what do you think is going to be the biggest event coming up in Europe in the next few months? Is there an election coming up, or is it the war in Ukraine? What's going to be, or is it something in Moldova, Georgia? Obviously, we had major protests in Georgia earlier this year. What's the big event that's facing?
I'm curious because now it's moved for European Union for Chairman der Leyen. European Union, of course, have prepared scenarios. Prepare in the case when will win in US President Trump or Vice President Harris. Yeah. So we have scenarios, and we see in the next couple of months what decision can fly to us from the Brussels. Yeah. Probably European Union will build a kind of common army, unite army, or try build first reaction forces, maybe.
Yeah.
Just like in NATO have structure. I'm not military expert. I can explain this precisely. Maybe you can have in the nearest future the opportunity to invite experts, soldier, which they lost their teeth to preparing this strategy.
Sure.
But as I tell you at the beginning, we must stand together. We fought this collective preparing. In one country is not. It can effectively stop the potential aggression from the east.
Well, I think that's a good place to stop there, and really appreciate your time, Professor. So thank you for making the trip over.
Thank you very much for having it. It's a pleasure, and I hope that next year I can be here once again.
Absolutely.
And I can maybe tell us more about what we do for the period of the last year. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Give us an update.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. So
thank you.
Thank you.
What an intriguing episode of our video series. We were joined by Professor Jacek Dworzecki of the Polish Military University of Land Forces, and we explored major issues of the day from a Polish perspective. As always, I'm Dr. Tad Schnaufer, the Strategy and Research Manager here at the Global and National Security Institute at the University of South Florida. We thank you again for joining us today, and we hope you join us for our next episode in our video series.